Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Today is the 3rd of September. We're at Lakeside Country Park, which is near Eastleigh, and I've got Mr. Ben Quirk from Planet Auto here with me, and we are in a very blessed position of having two very, very lovely press cars this week. We have this 2019 Suzuki Swift 1.2 Attitude, and I have this 2019 MG ZS 1 litre turbo exclusive automatic. One of the things that we were looking at the other day was that the 1.5 Excite version of the MG ZS is actually very similar in price to this car.
It is.
So the Suzuki is just under £15,000.
This particular one, yeah.
Yeah, this particular one. And the MG ZS 1.5 Excite manual is just over £14,000. So they're actually quite, closely matched in price. So we're just thinking about, what does your sort of budget of say £14,000 to £15,000 actually buy you in the car world?
Well, that's it. You can choose, can't you? I mean, you can get a car or you can get an SUV.
You can indeed, and I know that Planet Auto are very, very big fans of the MG ZS, aren't they?
The amount of ZSs we've driven is absolutely staggering.
You've driven absolutely all the types. You've driven the manual, automatic, and the electric one.
Yeah.
And you're about to get an electric one on like a sort of longer test now,
It's about a week and a half away, and then we've got to come back from Goodwood Revival in it and do a challenge up the motorway to see how electrification, how easy it is to do. And I think it's going to be a lot easier than most of the people kind of hint at, because there's so many more chargers, aren't there now? You must admit, Joseph, when you look around now, there's so many more chargers around on, forecourts, city streets, and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, so my opinion that will be, a good challenge to do, and I'm sure you'll be okay. But obviously, today we're in a petrol power world, of course.
We are, yes.
And
that's it, back to combustion.
Both these cars are exclusively available as petrols, of course. There is a cheaper Suzuki Swift available for about, is it £11,000?
About 11 grand is what the starting price
is.
The base, which is very affordable, isn't it?
Yeah. The base model has this engine as well, doesn't it?
It does.
1.2 engine, which generates about 89 horsepower.
Yes.
So we haven't got any mild hybrid system. Nope. We've not got any turbo or anything. This is just
baseline 16 valve, 1.2 petrol.
But I still think this particular one, the Attitude, which is a special edition as far as I know.
It's funkily styled, isn't it?
It looks a bit like the Sport, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
So we've got these very nice diamond cut alloy wheels. This is not a Nardo grey paintwork, but it's a grey sort of paintwork.
Yeah, this is an optional metallic.
Yeah, an optional metallic colour. I've seen them in red as well. A bit similar to this, actually. You can get them in that colour.
Red is the standard colour.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? I think there's blue and lots of other colours as well. But I think have we got front fog lights here? Yep. Yes, we have. We've got front fog lights on it. We've got this kind of chrome bit in the middle, which looks kind of smart, doesn't it? It's smart,
looks very smart. If you've noticed as well, the body kit is in a carbon fibre style trim as well, so it really does look the part. And you've got a rear boot spoiler as well.
Yes, so we'll take a look at that as well. The Swift.
Automatic lights?
Yeah, automatic lights as well, and reversing camera, which we'll look at in a second.
No parking sensors.
No parking sensors, but you just got to make sure you.
But it's like the ZS, attention. Isn't it?
Yes, with the Excite, you get reversing sensors and no camera.
Yeah.
You don't get both.
No, you don't get front sensors on any of them, do you?
No, you can't get front sensors on any ZS at all.
No.
None of them. So the side profile of the car is interesting because it has the rear door handle hidden right up here.
Yeah.
And I've sat in the back of this car behind, Mr. Coleman, rubbish mechanic. He is, I think, slightly taller than me actually, and I actually had enough room behind him. It was perfectly comfortable, which I was surprised about in a little car like this. And the rear, I think, it does look quite nice. It's got this sort of, I think it's like an air dam or something, or a diffuser.
It does look like a rear diffuser, yeah. If you've noticed, the kit goes all the way around the car. You've got this carbon fibre style on the side skirts, the rear diffuser, the front valance, and if you've noticed, the A, B and C pillar are all black to give it that sporty line. But surprisingly, the boot spoiler's grey. Yes,
and it's quite a spoiler, isn't it?
It's high level brake light.
I mean, having travelled a bit in this car, I'm not going very far in it, but what I've noticed is the suspension, it's a bit like something like an MG3. It's very firm.
It is.
And this is essentially what in the Mark II Golf range would have been the driver to the GTI. which is a car with a normal engine and normal engine power, but with all the stuff that makes it look like a GTI.
Yeah,
so
and handle like one.
Yeah, and it looks like a sport, but it's obviously designed for people who don't want to pay a lot more money for it, because there's a lot more money a sport. The economy's worse on a sport. This has done. With bear in mind you don't hang around at Planet Auto, do you?
No.
It's done over 50 miles per gallon in your particular stead, which I think is remarkable.
I'm trying to break that and I can't.
Now bear in mind that this car has a 5-speed gearbox, as does the ZS1. They've both got 5-speed manual gearboxes. So without you probably get a little bit more for the 6-speed, but I don't think you need a 6-gear really in a car like this.
You don't, no.
No, and most cars for the price
seems to rev low in fifth, say motorway speed, so.
Yeah, and a lot of cars for this price do just have a 5-speed manual gearbox.
They do.
So that's just par for the course, really. Let's have a look at the boot. Do you want to open that, Ben? I don't exactly know what the literage of this boot is, but I say it's about the same as something like possibly an G3, probably slightly smaller than that, but it's the same sort of car, really. But yeah, it's big enough to put shopping, and you've got a tripod in there, haven't you?
I have got a tripod, a gimbal, a slider, and the camera gear, and we had suitcases and bags in here as well. Because there's a big boot lip, it means that there's a very deep boot.
Yeah, I mean it looks good enough to me. And if you possibly go and sit now in the rear, we'll just show the viewers what the rear space is like in this car. So you're going to sit there.
This will be a first for me.
Will it? Okay.
Let's move my clothing over.
Move it. Yes, the appropriate clothing that you've got for this week. And so Ben, you are 6'3", aren't you?
I am.
So that's your driving position there.
It is.
Actually, you're able to get in, and you're actually able to get in. And
I have headroom.
You actually got some headroom.
I can lean back. Yeah, I am slouched down,
touching.
but I sit like this in a car anyway.
Yeah, you normally sit like that anyway. So it's actually okay. I mean, you wouldn't want to go.
You've got a recess here as well. If you've seen, I'd have to really put my knees in there, because when the door closes, it might catch my legs.
Yeah.
But if I held it in and then rested it against it, it'd be fine.
Yeah, I mean, any car like this, you wouldn't really want to.
That's a Super Mini, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's good. Why don't you just take a seat at the front, and we'll see what that's like as well.
I like this as well. You've not really got a door pocket, but you do have a bottle holder.
A bottle holder in there. That's nice. It's like my old Rover 25 that had that as well. But if you look in the cabin, we've got various things in here. We've got a nice big screen in the middle, which has it's got a reversing camera as well, hasn't it, this car?
It has.
The materials, I feel okay. The doors are quite light, but I think they've just actually got this this car just to sort of save weight. I'm just going to take a seat down here, and it's quite comfortable. That's quite a nice sort of bucket style seat.
Well, considering I drove about 260 miles in it, I didn't get out with backache or anything. It was a very comfortable drive. The seats are very comfortable. They're very supportive, and the suspension can be a bit hard if you hit a pothole, but overall it's what you expect from a Super Mini. It's fun around roundabouts and things like that.
Yeah, we've got automatic lights just there.
No cruise control.
No cruise control, but you do have here the Bluetooth phone system. We've got air conditioning. There's no sat nav, but is there Apple CarPlay, Android Auto in this car?
Yes. Well, there's definitely Apple CarPlay.
You've got Apple CarPlay, so you don't need necessarily sat nav in there.
But look at this, a flat bottom steering wheel.
Yeah, it's very sporty, isn't it? Yeah, well, that's pretty good actually. This is very comfortable actually. It's too far away for me because I'm shorter than Ben, but that's good. Right. So we'll just go and take a look at the MG now. So you've never seen a red MG ZS before?
No.
This is the tri-coat red.
Yeah.
This is the 1 litre turbo automatic exclusive. It's not the 1.5 Excite, which would be £14,045. This is about, as tested, this is £18,000. So the leather interior. This is not what you get on an Excite, but it's more like a kind of cloth houndstooth interior. Also with the the gear lever. This is obviously an automatic, it's a 5-speed manual in 1.5 Excite. You do get that central screen there, which has Apple CarPlay too. You don't get a reversing camera, but you do get rear parking sensors.
And you get steering modes.
You do. It's got tri-mode steering. I have it in dynamic mode because I like heavier steering. I like heavier steering in a car. One of the things you'll notice, Ben, if you just get in the back here, you'll see just how easy it is for Ben to get into the car. It's just no problem whatsoever. The seat's a little bit further back.
It's nice raised ride height, so it's easy. The doors open, relatively wide.
They do.
And I've got, as you can see,
absolutely loads of headroom.
and I'm sat more upright than I would be in the Super Mini.
Yeah, I mean that seat's a little bit too far back, but usually you've got loads of room, haven't you?
Yeah, but even there, it's not really pushing on my legs. Even here, there's a gap.
Yeah, so there's loads and loads of space.
Lots of room under here for your feet as well.
There is, and this
is plush. It's nice on your knees.
I think even materials in the mid-spec car is okay. This has got sort of leatherette, but some people don't even like leather.
Yeah, I mean you've got leather here as well.
You've got
somewhere to rest your arm.
And all models, of course, of the ZS come with 4 electric windows, unlike the Suzuki, which has got manual rear windows. It's not a massive deal, but it's just worth mentioning, really. Well, let's look at the boot space. Because this is one area where I think we're...
Decent door bin as well.
Yeah, we've got loads of different storage cupboards in this car.
I mean, look at this, leather and stitching.
Yeah. That'll be cloth, I think, on an Excite. So if you got... It's for hand, it's for badge, it's a badge.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, trademark NG badge. And this particular car, we've got a reversing camera where that pops out of. This is a dual height boot floor in this car, so it's actually 448 litres. Same as on the electric version, if you're thinking about one of those. I was very blessed to be a guest of Planet Auto YouTube channel to go on the launch with Annabelle, which was wonderful. They do have, both these cars have the same boot space, 448 litres. You don't get a spare tyre in this car, but you pay for it. I think the Swift's probably the same. It's got a tyre repair kit, but that is a really good usable space. It's a very impressive capacity car.
Especially with the dual boot floor. You've got your extra storage. You've got your nets here with extra storage left and right. Got a boot light there that illuminates the full boot.
Yeah,
it's very well done.
And as this is an exclusive, you get parking sensors, but you do obviously on the Excite as well, and you can get this colour too. It's, I think,
styling wise, I think the chrome works. I mean, you've got the ZS there, but it also matches around this, on the rear bumper.
That's right. I can't remember if that's just on the exclusive. I think Excite might be a bit different, but these
sculpted lenses.
Yeah. The wheels are different. These are 17-inch diamond cut ones, but some people don't like diamond cut ones. They like to have just normal wheels.
A lot of people say that the wheels are too small on these. I think the 17s look fine.
Yeah, and 17 inches on the Excite as well. They're just normal alloy wheels, which are easier to look after actually. Yeah. So we've looked at the back. Why don't we look at the front as well?
Isofixes as well.
Yeah, we've got Isofix, and in the interior, I'm actually always really impressed with these ZSs and how good quality it is.
It's got very functional styling, hasn't it? I like this.
Yeah, very easy to read.
And
soft touch dashboard,
stitching.
Yeah,
retro vents like you'd see on classic MGs. Things like auto lights, that kind of thing.
Yeah. All MG ZSs come with cruise control and automatic lights.
Yeah.
Even the base model, that's £12,500.
They're absolutely staggering value.
They are. One of the things as well worth pointing.
In the second-hand market, these will be,
Yeah, they
you're
will
probably going to be hard pushed to get anything, and you get 80,000-mile 7-year warranty.
You do, and that's one of the differences with buying an MG these days is that every single one of their cars comes with that comprehensive warranty. Suzuki, you get like an industry standard 3-year warranty, don't you?
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the driving experience of these cars. Now Ben, you've driven loads of ZSs.
I have.
And you've driven the 1.5 manual that we're comparing today.
Yes.
Opposed to this 1-litre automatic. I just noticed that the car is not as sort of grippy and firm as a Swift. It's not at all like that.
No.
But it doesn't need to be.
It's an SUV.
The ride's quite soft. You don't want to. You don't expect this to be kind of.
But it can still be dynamic enough on a back road.
Yeah, it's okay.
It will grip.
Particularly if you put the steering into dynamic mode.
Yeah.
Which I recommend if you drive it quite hard.
It is a noticeable difference whilst driving spiritedly on a back road. It really is.
Yeah, but it drives absolutely fine. It's just obviously if you want to drive really hard,
that's like a
then
go-kart.
then you drive this something like this Suzuki. I mean, it's you go around there and I'm amazed at the grip and the pose that this car actually has.
If you've noticed, the back wheels are actually stanced out a bit as well, so it does have a very sporty look. It is very like the Swift Sport, except you don't have a 1.4 booster jet engine.
Yeah, I mean, one just interesting thing we've noticed is that if you buy one of these with a 1.5 engine, it's Group 11 insurance. This is a 10 with 1 litre. With the Swift, this is actually Group 25 insurance.
That's the only kicker for this car.
We don't really know why.
No, exactly. We can't work it out.
And you know, this car's a Euro NCAP 4. The MG is actually only 3. Now, but the electric version will probably be 5 because it's got lots of extra safety features in it. But we can't really work out why this car would be Group 25 insurance. It doesn't really make any sense. Which it seems safe enough to me. It's got enough driving. Does it have automatic emergency braking?
I don't actually know.
Yeah, we'll have to.
I'll have to read that.
We've got a press sheet with us, so we can actually look at that.
I've not seen anything like that activate whilst driving it.
Yeah, so it's possible it doesn't have it. But certainly, you can't get that.
It's got 4 NCAP. It must have something.
Yeah, it's got Euro 4 safety. It's got there's loads of things on there. You've got things like ABS, and you've got
ABS. You've got traction control, EBD, and brake assist.
Yeah, it's got
ESP
most of the stuff.
Electronically, you know,
I think what it will be is that'll probably be the reason.
Side impact protection beams.
That'll be the reason why it doesn't have 5-star Euro NCAP. Will be it doesn't have automatic emergency braking, because you have to have that to get 5 stars. So that'll be why it gets 4, and same with the ZS. I mean, that'll be the reason why it gets 3. It's missing just of these things you've sort of mandated to have.
Yeah.
But you know, it does keep the price down, doesn't it? I mean, I wouldn't say this is an expensive car. For the equivalent Fiesta, I think you'd be paying 17-18 grand.
Yeah, and the Vignale, you'd be paying about 25.
If it's Vignale, you'd be paying way more, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So these are both affordable cars. I mean, it just depends.
It depends what you want.
It depends what you want. If you want a practical family car, then you can buy one of these. The fuel.
Well, the way these differ, isn't it? This is perfect for going on a family holiday, commuting, whatever. Whereas this is perfect round town and the occasional motorway journey.
And B roads.
Yeah, and B roads.
Yeah.
Fun.
And of course, this car gets much better economy than the MG. It's about 51. The MG, I'd reckon you get 42, 45, something like that. It's not bad.
No.
It's not bad by any means, but it's not quite as good. Well, so there we are. I think that's all the points we wanted to cover. So I hope you found that video to be enlightening. It's interesting to be with both of these cars, and to see what the differences actually of them are, because they are just similar in this sort of list price, although you know it's a very competitive sector of the market. So don't forget to subscribe to the Planet Auto channel for a full review of this car coming up soon, which will be in probably a couple of weeks, won't it?
It will.
Yes, it will be. And obviously, whilst you're here, don't forget to subscribe to the Lloyd Vehicle Consulting channel too, and don't forget to leave a like and a comment below. Please also visit website www.lloydvehicleconsulting.co.uk, and my Facebook page is facebook.com/Lloyd Vehicle Consulting. If this is also a car for you, then please do get in touch via my website, and there's a contact tab on the front page of there. I'd love to do that for anybody who is watching this, and thank you very much once again indeed for watching.